And so right now we are going to speak to Mathews Mhuru, who is a country director, CSO-SUN via Skype. Mathews, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Can you hear me? Good morning, Mathews.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. So let's get into it. We are talking about nutrition as a country. How would you rate our performance?
Well, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. We're still, some miles away from getting to a situation that is desirable. Look at our current statistics, you would realize that we have about a population of 35 children who are still, suffering from chronic malnutrition, also known as stunting. If you look at just our food security situation, you would realize also that we have a population just this year alone of 1.5 million people who are still food insecure. So there is a lot of work that we can do to just get to a better situation, because I know also, I think there are statistics that are never taken into consideration, such as just the pressure that the high food prices is adding to our food security situation as well, because urban food insecurity is on the rise due to high prices of food currently. So we can get to a better state as our country, but we are still a little bit far from where we're supposed to be.
How much attention is given to issues to do with nutrition? I ask this because we hear a lot about many other issues, even on the news, from the policymakers, but we don't hear much about nutrition. I'm concerned because you spoke about 35% of the children being stunted, and as an organization, I believe it is your job to exert pressure on these people that make these policies.
Yeah, so you are right. Yeah, so you're actually right. When you look at attention going to nutrition, there's no much mention, but I'm glad that the Vice President was launching the Eat Well campaign yesterday. But I think there's a lot that can be done. So if you look at the 2021 national budget, you'd realize that there was no mention of the word nutrition in the entire budget speech. And unlike the previous years, now Zambia has moved from the activity-based budgeting to the output-based budgeting. And if you just type the word nutrition in the actual yellow book, back then you would get a lot of, you would get a lot of mention of nutrition and budget lines, but now it's only appearing like 8 times, so which is a huge concern to stakeholders.
So how can we change the status quo?
So how we can change the status quo? I think to start with, we have to put money where nutrition is, because currently you would realize that the nutrition budget, most of it is actually being supported by the donors, and this is not the correct situation. If you allow other people to finance your key areas that are people, and they affect livelihoods and they affect life, then it's a situation that is undesirable. We're just hoping that we can finance, we can add more money to just improving the nutrition situation in our country, as well as also just making sure that programs which are high, leadership leading and is with the things that.
Now, there's also a link between malnutrition or stunting and early marriages, especially that young mothers, these are girls who are not ready to be mothers. And so apart from learning how to be right mothers, they also have to think of the right foods. All right, we've lost Mathews, and I will try and get back to him.